So I had to stop and make this video because a message has been coming through from the heart. What I'm witnessing in my own life and in many of my friends' lives right now is that we're all being faced with healing deep generational wounds that have been in the family lines, in the lineage lines, for thousands of years. Us right now here on the earth, we're tasked with the most divine mission, and that is to heal these illusions, heal these deep wounds out of the body, and anchor in the truth of who we are, anchor back in our divinity, connect to our divinity. It is in connecting to our divinity through our body, by embodying that divinity, that it heals everything. And I know that you may feel disconnected from that, but I ask you to think about love. Think about the fabric that is love. And I heard or I read one of a scribe, Zini Ara. I read one of her videos. I read one of her books on my channel, and she talks about love a lot throughout this book. And she says, love is not an emotion. Love simply is. And I love that, because it is. Love simply is. Love simply is the fabric of creation. Love is imbued within everything, and it is only the distortions, all the lies that we've been told, all the illusions, all those traumas that have been passed down, all those lies that have created the traumas that have been passed down generation to generation, that stops us from connecting to that love which is inherent within each and every one of us. And it is that disconnection from love that allows us to, that keeps us in suffering. And I want you to think about a time in your life when you've experienced unconditional love, because really on this planet, love is conditional. Everything has been inverted, so we experience everything in its opposite. So God in the Bible, right? God in the Bible is sold to us as being this vengeful God that we must worship and we must obey, or he's going to send us to hell, right? That is an inversion of who God is. God is not that at all. God is nature. Go into nature. Feel how you feel when you're in nature. Feel how it soothes the soul when you're in the sea, when you're on the beach, when you're in a forest, up a mountain. When the sun is on your skin, that is God's source. That is the fabric of God's source. We can start to perceive it in our bodies when we are in nature. God's source is the energy that is in all of creation, and we are part of that creation. We are not separate from it. That God source spark was placed inside each and every one of us, and it's all these overlays, these distortions that's created all these conditions to love. You must act a certain way, you must look a certain way, you must behave a certain way, you must do this, do that, you must fit into this, fit into that, you must have this, have that, in order to be loved. Look in your relationships. We've all played this out. If someone doesn't please us, then we may have withheld love in their lives. We may have judged them. We may have blamed them for things about how we feel. We can see that love has been conditional, but I do believe that each and every one of us, somewhere along our journey, has experienced unconditional love, even if just for a split second. And in feeling that unconditional love staring back at us, because really we've experienced it often through an animal, a child, through a lover maybe. For a split second we've experienced and we felt healed. We felt our whole world shift in an instance, because that is the power of God's source. That is the power of unconditional love. When we have unconditional love in our body, everything that is not us heals. All those judgments we have about ourselves, all those criticisms, all the suffering that we are in, all of that actually heals in the body. So right now we are in a place where we are here to reconnect back to that soul spark, to God, to let it fill up every cell in our body so it can heal all the distortions, so that we can move out of this inverted matrix and anchor in the new age of miracles and blessings, which is the new age that we're moving into. We are creating a new world here on earth, and it's gonna be amazing. I was out walking. I was at the cemetery the other day. I spend time in the cemetery. Why? Because it's so peaceful there. There's loads of nature. It's just a really peaceful place. I love being there. I can just feel the energy. And I was walking back from the cemetery, and I happened to walk past this young kid. Maybe he was like a teenager, something like that. And I looked at him to smile, to say hello, and he just looked away from me, just like his eyes. And I could tell that he didn't feel comfortable, he didn't feel safe to just smile, and it made me, and I was just like, I thought, wow, look at the environment that we have created for our children, for our teenagers. We are all a part of this. We have created an environment where teenagers, where kids don't feel safe to talk to adults, to look at adults, to interact with adults, where perhaps they feel that they might be told off, that an adult might project something onto them. We've all heard people say, oh, it's these bloody teenagers these days, it's this, it's that. And yes, we might see teenagers acting out in ways that are not desirable, but why is that? What environment has created that? We have to take some responsibility for that, all of us, each and every one of us. And in the new earth, we're going to move out of that, because we're going to be having this compassion, this love. We're going to be remembering that we are all connected, that when we harm another, when we create an environment that is unsafe for another, we create for ourselves as well. And we're going to be moving out of these energies. But I was just talking to my friend about that, and she said, well, yeah, think about some of the programming around that, Corinne. Think about the fact that we've taught our kids, don't talk to strangers. Like, we've painted this perception that strangers are dangerous, and that is not the truth at all. We are supposed to be a community, a tribe of people, a tribe of humans that come together, and that's what we're moving back into. But that's not really why I made this video, although obviously it wanted to come out right now. But when I was just, I was having a run in the woods. I haven't run for ages, and I just felt I needed to run. I'm listening to my music, I'm dancing in the woods, I'm feeling all this like joy coming into my body, and I'm thinking about what I'm dealing with, or what I'm facing right now. And it's a real deep generational wound around where my self-worth has been attached to money. And also in that mix is working hard as well. I must work hard to be able to earn money. So now I'm moved into a new place where I don't work like a slave anymore, because I realise that's not the truth. If working hard really was the remedy to financial stability, then everyone would be financially secure right now. That's not the truth. That's a slave mindset program. However, I've still got buried within me layers of worth attached to money, and mixed in with that I'm still healing. I'm talking to a friend, and she has a different situation, which is to do with relationships, not being in a relationship, and her self-worth is attached to having a relationship, because when she was a child, that was the big generational wound there, was that in order to be worthy, you must be married. In order to be worthy, you must have children. So therefore, because she doesn't have any of those, it feels like she's not worthy of it, and it's a wound that she's meaning to heal. So now that I'm going through this complete change, and I don't have financial security, it's bringing up those last regiments of that self-worth, and I know it's all about to drop in. I know this, I can feel it in my field. I know that I don't need to work harder to bring that in. I need to actually surrender. I need to allow myself to just let go of that, to detach myself from my worth attached to my money in my bank account. And right now, we're all being faced with these wounds that are coming up. And as I was running, I was feeling like it takes us down. These wounds take us down into the deepest of the darkest of places within our very being. And what we want to do is we want to go into the mind, and we want to solve it. We want to do something, do this, but actually we're being asked not to do that. We're being asked to move into a deep level of trust with ourselves. We're being asked to go in and reconnect back to source. The only thing, or the one thing that's going to heal these last bits of wounds for us, is connecting to our own divinity, is allowing the light to come in, because what is the light is unconditional love. It allows radical love to move into the body. So right now we're being asked to radically love ourselves. And what does radical love look like? It means being aware when you're judging yourself. You're judging yourself for not working hard enough. You're judging yourself for not having all the answers. You're judging yourself for not having something in your life that society has brainwashed us to believe is meaningful, is our self-worth. So I think right now this self-worth is coming up collectively, and we've all got we've all attached self-worth to different things, because we've had different experience as children, but it's the same core wound, right? So if you're watching this video now, what is it for you? What is your self-worth being attached to? And is it right there now in front of you, asking to be embraced, to be loved, to be accepted? Like say for my friend, it's a relationship. I know I can look at my friend and I can know without a shadow of a doubt that it's not about her self-worth, that actually all she needs to do is love herself, know that it is there for her. It's her divine right to have a loving relationship, and it's only her resistance to it that it's called. She doesn't need to do more. She doesn't need to go on dating sites. There's a false belief out there that it's been put out there that you've got to show the universe that you've got to give the universe a sign, show the universe that you want it by going on a dating site, doing all these things. But that's not the truth. Yes, that might be for some people. Some people might be guided to do that. That might be how they're supposed to meet their partner. But you don't do it just because someone says so. You do something like that because your guidance tells you that is it. And if you're doing something like going on dating sites and all this stuff and it feels bad, then you're not supposed to be doing it, right? Because the truth is, this world is magical. You don't need to go out and push. You just need to accept it's coming to you, right? I'm not saying that you just sit in your bedroom and never don't know. You do what you're guided to do. You just live your life. You live your life with the knowing that what is for you is coming in. You don't need to do it. You don't need to push to get it. You don't need to prove that you deserve that. You do deserve it. This is a lesson we're all being asked to really dig into right now in our divinity, that to know that we deserve all of the richness, all of the abundance that the universe has to offer, and the universe wants to pour that in for us. Mother, Father, God wants us to be prosperous, wants us to be happy, wants us to be running through the forest, dancing, singing in joy, wants us to be walking down the street, wants the kids to feel comfortable in saying hello to strangers, having a laugh, having a joke with strangers, not feeling that they're going to get shouted at in some way or blamed for something. This is what Mother, Father, God wants for us all. Mother, Father, God is unconditional love, and it's asking us to see ourselves with those eyes. Imagine seeing yourself with the eyes of God. Imagine if we could all do that for ourselves. We'd instantly change this reality. So today, just let yourself be, just love yourself for who you are. Just recognize that you are worthy, no matter what your outside circumstances say. Society is wrong. Reality is wrong when it says that success looks a certain way. I remember writing this down on my whiteboard a few years ago, writing down, redefining what success means, because we've made success mean that it's about having money in your bank account. It's about having a relationship. None of that. It's not to say that those things aren't success, right? It's not to say that's not a good thing, having money in your bank account or having a relationship. Of course, if that is in alignment with your soul and that brings you joy and happiness, then ding, ding. Good for you, right? Absolutely. If it brings you joy and happiness, but not if it's like soul destroying. And it's what is success? Well, success is being kind to others and to ourselves. Success is having compassion for others and ourselves. Success is not being judgmental of ourselves and others. Success to me is recognizing that we are these divine beings and connecting to that each and every day, making that a priority, making our spiritual growth, our spiritual being, our beingness a priority.